The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord, a tarnished of no renown.
This is the story of the fallen leaves that the Earth Tree tell. Of when I, whose name will be known later, searched for nothing but mere purpose in my life as a tarnished.
Cross the fog to the lands between.
After I've crossed the fog, I somehow appeared inside what looked like an abandoned temple. There was also a deceased woman inside, which was a little disturbing. But I knew that this world was already a dangerous place, so I pressed on. I already have absolutely nothing of value, and I never had anything, so I felt as if I had nothing to lose, so this journey would be well worth the risk. I've made it outside to a more peaceful, stormy wind. I traversed the outside and came across a statue that looked like Queen Merica. I figured I've made it to the lands between after witnessing this, but then a spider-like being with human limbs fell from above and attacked me. In a state of panic and desperation, I fled and ran to a large cliff above the ocean and took a leap of faith. I apparently fell unconscious upon impact, but luckily washed ashore. I washed ashore to a land known as Kalig, and that's where a high-ranking knight found me. He just happened to be on lookout for enemy soldiers, because at the time I washed ashore up in these lands, we were already at war. Hey, you alive? No one here but you, huh? He then forced me awake and questioned me. Who are you? And what are you doing laying out here? I briefly explained my last memories before waking up here. Well, you sure have poor luck in timing. We Redmanes are at war. The knight briefly introduced himself as Sir X and explained that these lands is known as Caelid, and he is part of a faction known as the Redmanes, under their leader known as General Radahn, the mightiest demigod of all, and their enemy are known as the Cleanrot Knights, and their leader was known as Melania, Blade of Mikola. I knew absolutely nothing about any of this or those demigods, but I felt that washing ashore, I was caught up in it all.
A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will.
That's what was currently taking place. Then Sir X offered me purpose. I cannot anoint you as a knight yet, but you can rise in rank as a foot soldier under me.
I accepted the offer, for purpose was all that I was searching for, and it seemed purpose had found me. Perhaps I can become a hero out of this war. Rise in ranks and become victorious. I became very optimistic at the moment. That's the spirit, soldier! Now follow my orders, and under my training you may yet live, soldier. You have my thanks, Sir X. Now head up to our camp over there. I will. I'm excited. As a tarnished, I found purpose so easily. Quit licking my boots and get going, rookie. I'm sorry. Understood. As I began to follow his directions, other sectors were already locked in combat. The same went for our leaders. Melania and Radon were locked in combat, with Radon seemingly having the upper hand. Melania was not going to accept defeat. And in a state of desperation, she had unleashed what was always known within her, the flower of scarlet rot. And the flower's bloom was so powerful and massive, it was equivalent to a nuclear warhead that affected all of Caelid and everyone within. The bloom not only devastated all of Caelid, the rot also spawned mutant crows, dogs, and even insect beings of colossal size. No more grass, just dead trees, ruins, overgrown fungus. All that remains is the surviving wildlife and the remaining Redmane Knights attempting to stave off the rot. Soon after that, one of Melania's clean rot knights named Finlay found her lord Melania unconscious. Devastated to see her lord in such a state, she picked up Melania and removed her from the battlefield. And it was a long journey home. She carried her through Caelid, through the Lunaria Lakes, the Altus Plateau, even through the harsh consecrated snowfield, back to the Halleck tree, and properly placed her by her throne in the Halleck tree roots. When I came to, I was on the ground in our Redmane tent, placed as if someone had brought me here, but the land that I've awakened to was a nightmare. I was surrounded by flaming stakes piled with corpses, and past them were Redmane Knights fighting some hideous-looking beasts. I ran to get a closer look. The beasts were devouring the fallen knights and soldiers. While others were fighting for their lives, I couldn't help but think, where is Sir X? Is he out there fighting, or... Damn it! Should I help or run? I knew I was no match for those monsters after witnessing them struggle. Ah! I wanted purpose, but I didn't expect joining the Redmanes would end up like this. I was in way over my head and too fearful to jump into battle. So I hid, but then... Soldier! Sir X, you're alive. Things went terribly wrong for us. Now we Redmanes will fight till the end. In dying Caelid, for our land and in the name of our Lord Radahn. You weren't born here and not a true Redmane. I order you to run away. This isn't your place to die. To me, knights, regroup! I followed Sir X's orders and ran, but Caelid's beasts were on my trail. This was even more frightening than that human-limbed spider. After I got clipped, I just kept running. It seemed I was no longer being chased, but I wasn't out of danger at all. I stopped to take a breather and took a look around. How did all of this happen? I know I didn't get a chance to see much of Caelid, but I seriously doubt it looked like this. I then just kept running, hoping to find an end to all this hell. It was like the lands were just mutated and overgrown with toxic mushrooms and decay. I began to see other life forms that resembled insects. I took care to avoid them. I kept running the path, and to my surprise, I've come across an old hag that asked to read my fingers.
You, please, I can read them. Your fingers, please, your fingers. Oh, bless you. Are you one for festivals or flowers? To the south, a grand festival to make the stars turn. To the east, the heart and bud of a flower to be. But dare you enter into the heart of the scarlet rot?
After letting her read my finger, I really thought she was just a delirious woman. A festival in a hellish place? Like this? Insanity. After another push of narrowly escaping my death, I finally reached the end of Caelid. The grass began to look greener from here, and the atmosphere seemed more calm. Phew, I hope that's all over now. But what am I to do now? I've decided to look around and notice the giant with the large sword on its back. So even though the grass was much greener now, I was still in the presence of danger. Despite hiding in the giant saw me and swiftly attacked. Again, I found myself running for my life. Seems I outran death once again. Ever since I've traversed that fog to reach these lands, I've just been narrowly escaping death. Perhaps abandoning King Godfrey to come here was a fatal. Yes, before I've made pilgrimage, myself as well as countless other tarnished were following King Godfrey in a place known as the Badlands, with only stories about how Lord Godfrey was known here as the Lord of the Battlefield, and how he conquered these lands for Queen Merica. I wanted to see these lands for myself, and I thought, if I may find purpose here and maybe become a strong hero like him. Such a foolish idea. It was either this or simply fall following him into nothingness. I've had a strange feeling, however, as if something was beckoning me here. And then I saw rubble remains of an old church. I'll go there for shelter. Another Merica statue was within. I was certain these were the land's King Godfrey's tales. The Merica statues were confirmation of the lands between. After the very brief respite, I stepped outside and saw another giant. More danger. I was able to sneak by this one unnoticed. And this was when I met a man named Kenneth Height.
Hello? Is anybody there?
Who's that speaking?
Might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height.
During the callings, I was attacked by beings called demi-humans. This time I didn't run. I was tired of running. I actually killed a mob. I rejoiced in my first victory and was a much needed confidence booster. Then I heard the calls for help again.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, Erdtree, grant me succor. You've come to lend me your aid, have you? Well, that's very kind, but, no. No, the help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the true order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool, and plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood. What are you waiting for? A kiss goodbye? My fort lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. Take it back for me. Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Height is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval.
A Stormville knight obsessed with blood. After killing that mob of demi-humans, perhaps this is a fitting next challenge. So I followed Kenneth's directions and headed out to reclaim his fort. On the way to this fort in the dark woods, there was more demi-humans, large bats, and large bears. Then I heard a wolf howl in the distance. That wolf's howling sort of sounds like a distress call. I then ignored it and continued to find Kenneth's fort, which was straight up ahead. This must be the place. Had to avoid the ballista. Apparently the knight had a full unit here. And the demi-humans were here as well, but they were fighting the knights. The demi-humans grabbed the big one's attention to my advantage. Inside looked like a small battleground with large rats. I braced myself for a tough fight as I reached the knight. I was victorious and proud of this victory, for I've just reclaimed a fort. I wonder how strong was X the Knight. Was he as tough as this guy? I hope he stays alive and escapes somehow. I returned to Kenneth Height to bring the good news.
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort? Oh, excellent news. Just wonderful. And the knight's dead to boot. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. I knew I was right to trust you. Now, here's your reward, as promised. Go ahead. It's all yours.
This guy must truly be nobility carrying this.
I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. What's that look? You don't believe me? Well, under the Earth Tree, commingling with the demi-humans is made possible. Even the vulgar shall not be left behind under the rule of true order. Which is why I, Kenneth Height, next in line as the rightful ruler of Limgrave, have sworn to uphold it. Just you watch, my friend. Just you watch.
I know nothing of the order, but I'd like to witness this communication.
Ah, yes. I've been meaning to ask. Would you like to enter my service? I see bright things in your future, stout warrior. Enter into my service and learn the workings of the Earth Tree's true order. And who knows? Perhaps sometime down the line, the grace of gold will return to those tarnished eyes of yours. What say you? A fine accord, is it not?
A chance to become a knight again. Of course!
Very well indeed. I knew I saw something in you. I shall await you at my fort. We shall hold the ceremony for your knighting there, I think. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Earth Tree blessed.
You have my thanks. As excited as I was, my goal was still out of my reach, for when I returned to the fort, it was overran by the demi-humans, and they still weren't friendly. Kenneth was, however, waiting at the top.
Ah, you, is it? Well, I suppose you must have seen it by now, yes. The sorry state of my fort. Oh, indeed, it is a foul fate for a land to be without a ruler. One must be found, with haste, and not that awful Godric, but a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
Godric.
I'm sorry to have lifted your hopes, but I haven't the authority to raise you to knighthood as things stand. The great Kenneth Height issues his sincerest apology. But now, I must begin my search post-haste. for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
Oh well, I suppose it's time for me to move on. So I travel even further past the location that Kenneth Hyde mentioned. Then I met Kenneth Hyde. On the roads, I've attempted to gain as much combat experience as possible. Among my fighting, another person had called out to me.
You there. Could you help us out, Cully? You? Yeah, you there. Stop pretending you can't see me.
But I really can't see you.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye? I'm not that ugly, am I?
Odd looking branch.
What'd you go and do that for? Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really.
Your voice was in this direction, and the bush was out of place. But you're a demi-human that can speak.
What a shame.
Perhaps Kenneth Hyde was right.
When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me. Or if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon. Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them, so I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
You really don't need to go back there on my behalf. That choice is yours. Good luck to you. I've decided to take a little break, and that's when I've met one of my greatest allies.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
Sure thing. I'm learning this Elden Ring may be exactly what I'm looking for.
Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
But Melina also entrusted me with a ring. Whoa! So you must be Torrent. Melina stated that you've chosen me? Well, I'm sure that we have a long journey ahead of us, so of course I will treat you with respect. Now let's go, buddy. With Torrent's help, traversing these lands became much easier. Not long after I've met my first nomadic merchant named Kale.
You're tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods. I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer.
Since he was clearly a seasoned traveler, I thought to ask him about the howling in the Mistwood.
The howl of a wolf in the Mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next time you hear the wolf's howl, make this signal right under the source. Oh, don't fret. There is nothing to fear. I just have an inkling the two of you might hit it off. Goodbye for now.
I thought this was interesting enough to check out, and so I did just that. This was where I heard the howling. Let's try this. Whoa!
Who goes there? Carly sent you, did he? Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blythe. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby. Or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward. Darrowell is nothing but a traitor, and in need of a fitting end to his tale.
Darrowell, got it. To see such a hulking being like him speak perfectly like a human was truly a sight to behold in itself. And now curious who this Darrowell is. I'll let you know if I find this Darrowell. After that, I've given a bit of a search for this Darrowell, thinking to myself, if he was a wolf, couldn't he sniff out him or something? But as I was thinking that, I found a peculiar location with stone snake-like beings surrounding it. They had a purple glow on their faces but seemed rather docile. And in the center was a platform with a glowing blue light that transported me in. But the wolfman must have followed me because he was right behind me.
Rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
So this is a cell, and Darrell was here? Huh? Darrell attacked, but Blythe had his intent on killing him. I've decided to let him go. Darrell attacked me anyway, so I was mixed up in this fight regardless. Together we killed Darrell. I wonder what that was all about.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize. Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Rea Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you, and he'll be sure to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon. That's enough chit-chat for now. It's time we parted ways.
Blythe, a half-wolf. That stature and weapon, I really wouldn't want to go up against him at all. He can speak perfectly, too. What is he? I thought maybe I should go back and ask Kale. However, as soon as I returned to his location, I was greeted by another very significant person to this story.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
Huh? A blue woman wearing a witch-like hat.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Yes.
As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly. As they recall battles past, now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the 2 fingers?
2 fingers? The witch Renna left as quickly as she came. This place, I'm sure, have many unsolved mysteries, but I'm sure the answers are also out there.
Wait, weren't you... Well, you're back. Care to buy something? Ah, then you met Blythe, did you? Wonderful. I'm glad I pointed you in his direction. He's boorish, blunt, and couldn't find his nose with both hands. But he's a good egg. I think the 2 of you are sure to find the best in one another.
I see. Explains why he couldn't find Darrell himself.
People who yet survive in these lands. If the mood takes you when you meet one, then offer them some trade, won't you? My people. Wanderers all have long been spurned by the grace of gold, which is why we cannot settle, but instead are forced into this pitiful, unceasing journey. But thanks to that, Things are not so different for us now, though the Elden Ring is shattered. I think this makes us kindred spirits of sorts. Your people, the Tarnished, and mine. Perhaps you don't need to hear this, but see that no harm comes to my kin. We have a saying, we wanderers. Lament not your solitude. Expect no sympathy, no regard, nothing. But if anyone dares harm us, show them no mercy. That is our code, so to speak. Just the way we are, deeply unforgiving.
I understand.
Goodbye for now.
So this is the lands between. I've decided to take Rena's advice and learn as much as I can about these lands and explore. This was the beginning of my journey, the dawn of the Golden Crusade.